And here we go. So to start off, we have the 6-minute escape sequence. Both right now, it's just a bunch of text mashing to get through this section, and then it will be a pretty straightforward section to begin the race. We'll watch the runners. They might have some minor differences in their techniques. One of the techniques you'll probably see early on is called pumping, where basically you'll watch the runners basically use specific movements as they are moving, I believe, up and left to maximize their frames, because Link moves differently up and left versus right and down. If you want more information, we have a EmoSaru in chat who can give you more information on pumping or many of the other techniques that our runners will be using in this race. Looks like both runners have grabbed this. Both runners have grabbed the sword. Gonna head out, and they're gonna head into Hyrule Castle. Likely will not see much divergence here. The biggest thing that could affect them by a second or two here and there is enemy RNG patterns. These guards in this upcoming room could spawn in different patterns. We've got rats and snakes in the basement that can spawn in patterns that can make things difficult. But for the most part, beyond that, a lot of this is very execution heavy. For example, the blue guards that had dropped the keys, as well as the green guard coming up we have to kill, will always spawn in the same place. And both DK and Emo made that look pretty easy with a spin right against the statue, get 2 spins off, and the guard's down. So both of them are going through the escape sequence. Next guard, green guard, just need 1 spin on him. And then a spin and a slash on him. Actually, DK won 3 slashes. Pick up your boomerang and boomerang the key. And then our runners are going to go downstairs into Zelda's cell area. We'll have a ball and chain guard to deal with. It's either 8 slashes, a pot and 4 slashes, or 2 pots to take them out. And DK and Emo are going to just stun that guard to be safe. DK is going for a pot and 4 slashes. Emo's going for a full 8 slashes. This is mostly just the runner's preference, with whatever they want to do. I mean, the difference between the 8 slashes, a pot and 4 slashes, and 2 pots is pretty minimal, so you can go with what you're comfortable with. I do believe the 2 pots is slightly slower than the rest, but between 8 slashes and a pot and 4 slashes, I think it's pretty even. The bigger thing in that room was just the guard place where we pick up the big key. You can save yourself some seconds by positioning properly. But both runners have Zelda. We're heading on the way out of the basement here and into the escape area. Ooh, DK aggroed that guard a little bit, but got by him nicely. Both runners are good on health as they come up. You want to have at least 2 hearts going into the sewer area here, because the rodents can spawn in very weird patterns, and it can just cause problems. You'll notice that Emo decided to use the boomerang there rather than kill the guards. It's just a little faster. The boomerang comes out a little faster. Plus, it'll take 2 slashes to kill them anyway. DK is going to get into the sewer area first. Emo just a few seconds behind. Oh, DK gets a very nice snake pattern in that room, can just walk straight through them. Emo gets a pretty good pattern herself. Both runners grab the key. You have the next room to come into where they'll have to grab kill the key rats. Ideally, the rat will run towards them rather than run into the upper left corner, costing them a couple seconds. Or the rat will just stay stationary for DK, making an easy kill. And Emo gets them in a good position too, though the first boomerang misses. So DK is going to come out of here first. Emo right behind him. And so DK is out just before 6. Oh, Emo's having a little trouble grabbing that switch. She got it, and she'll be out at about 6:05. Now, DK will grab the Sanctuary Heart. Emo should as well. That Sanctuary Heart is very nice to have for these runs because this early, so low on health, you want every little bit you can. Not to mention that we will be doing a damage boost technique within Eastern that will cost 1.5 hearts, and not having that heart is a little painful. Both runners are now on their way to Eastern. DK slightly ahead. Looks like DK had a little bit of trouble getting around those Octorocks. Another group of RNG enemies that can make your life a little miserable. Emo takes a bullet herself. And we got both in the little maze here leading up to Eastern. DK will be the first one to get into Eastern Palace. Emo will probably be in there about another 10-15 seconds. So, early part is pretty straightforward. We're going to skip the chest in here, skip the right chest over in this next room, and we're going to head straight into this lower area. First technique we're going to see is in this upcoming Stalfos room, where the runners are going to take a specific path to get only 2 Stalfos to spawn. And if you see how DK pulled that off, basically he took a specific path, so only 2 Stalfos spawn. The other 2 basically spawn in areas that they can't spawn, so they will not spawn at all. And Emo also pulls that off very nicely. DK elected to skip a pot with arrows there. Just another runner preference thing. There's plenty of places to pick up arrows. Just need to make sure you have 18 at least for the upcoming boss fights. Emo does pick up the arrows there instead. So the next technique we're going to see is the damage boost technique that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Basically what DK is going to do in this next room is he's going to intentionally take damage so he can go for the switch, for the pot in the middle of those anti-fairies, and then hit the switch, and then grab the big key, and then the chest that spawns. And DK pulled that off pretty much perfectly. And let's see how Emo pulls it off. She gets a her technique's perfect there. DK grabs his bow, and he's going to head into the back. Emo's also going to grab her bow as DK heads towards the back, kills the Igor nicely, and is heading upstairs. So the sub-stairs area is pretty straightforward. Get past those Igors, hit the switch in this room. And the next room's a little tricky. Gotta kill the 2 skeletons, which like to jump all over the place, though DK gets them nicely. 2 arrows to the Igor, spin to take out these popos, 2 arrows to each of these Igors, and then we're in for the Armos fights. Though, unfortunately, DK gets a little off track. And grab some extra arrows. Let's see how DK handles this Armos fight. Emo's almost to her Armos fight. DK is setting up for the quick kill. And gets the nice quick kill there. Meanwhile, Emo hits her fight. Oh, 1 too many arrows. And that's... she's not going to be able to do the quick kill. But still gets a pretty quick kill anyway. So now both runners with their green pendants are going to go talk to Saharsla and get their Pegasus boots. We got some text matching here with Saharsla. Get through these text boxes. And then the runners will have a choice here. They can go behind Saharsla here, 2 chests with 100 rupees plus 3 bombs, or they can wait a little later in their route and pick up some rupees. DK will elect to wait, which is a common because we'll do tree pulls later that will yield rupees as well. And I believe Emo will also do the tree pull route, and yep, she is going for that route as well. So another technique we'll see the runners do here is doing some spin speed. Basically what they do is they charge up a spin on the stairs, and then as they release it, they hit the A button to dash. And it basically glitches Link into a state where he, after moving off a staircase, he will move at boot speed without actually using the boots. Both runners are heading over to the library where they will pick up their book. You see both Emo and DK charged up their... basically put Link into that glitch state before they hit the stairs. You can do the glitch state anywhere. You'll just know you executed it right if you can't swing your sword afterwards. Both are pretty clean on that, and they are both going to be heading to Desert. So, as they're running towards Desert, you'll see that it takes pretty specific paths, especially going through the swamp area where there's a lot of tall grass, there's a lot of water, a lot of stuff that basically can slow you down. So they're both like running along the edge of this water. They're both trying to hug these rocks to minimize their time in the area. The DK is the first into Desert. And Emo will be right behind him. This Desert Palace is pretty straightforward. You have to grab a key from the torch, go to the right side to grab the big key, back to the left side to grab the power gloves, and then to land Mola. So DK has his key, Emo's about to grab hers. DK will head to the right side to grab his big key. There's a pot here with arrows. DK is not grabbing it now. He might grab it on the way back. The runners would like to have generally a good amount of arrows going into the Land Mola fight because it helps the fight out quite a bit. DK has his big key. Emo's gonna go grab hers. Yes, DK is gonna grab the arrows there. Meanwhile, Emo is working her way over to the left side to grab her power gloves. She also grabs the arrows. DK grabbed an additional few arrows in that room before hitting the switch to get into the power gloves. Emo grabs those exact same arrows. And DK is going to be going into the landmole area. He uses the spin speed there. A lot of runners will elect not to use it because it is a very dangerous spin speed to execute. Because if you get too close to that ledge, you'll jump off and you'll have to go back through deserts. We see Emo heading into the back. DK's on his way to land molas. I'd like the torches in here, and we'll be on Land Molas. Land Mola is a very RNG heavy boss. They start in the same spots every time, but after their first jump, it's all random. So runners will try their best to get some good damage on the first cycle, and then after that, they'll do their best to minimize cycles. DK's got one down as Emo starts her fight. Looks like Emo missed a few extras. DK's got land molas down. And DK has his pet pendant. Emo's got her first land mola down. Seems to be having a little bit more trouble. And she's only down to 2 arrows, but she gets them down. Alright, DK is on his way now to the southeast corner of the map where he will set up a fake flipper. Fake flipper is another little technique the runners use to save some time. Basically what they do is they will set it up so as they jump into the water, they will transition to the next screen, and the game will not check to make sure they have flippers. And using that, they will go to a portal that'll take them up to the hair area. DK pulls that off perfectly. When pulled off correctly, it's the savings of about 6 seconds, but there's a big risk in it, in that if you get hit by anything while in the fake flipper state, you'll be put back on land, and if you move, you will put yourself into a soft lock state. In normal runs, you would have to reset your run basically at that point. For the tournament, for the bracket round, I believe the rule is that you can save and quit, but you have to go to Link's house, come back to the fake flipper spot, and go from there. And Emo had a little bit more trouble, and she chose to play it safe, avoiding that Zora for that exact reason. And she's on her way up to Hera now. DK is going to grab his magic mirror. Emo's taking the old man through these caves. The old man sequence has a lot of text boxes to mash through, and then you grab your mirror from them. DK using the spin speed to get through this area. Generally a good idea. The best way to avoid those boulders is to move as fast as possible. Emo has grabbed her mirror, and she is now going to head up to Hera as well. Hera's pretty straightforward. You're going to grab a small key from down here, and then head to the basement area, pass through the tile room, grab your big key, and head up. we'll see one of our first bomb jumps as well up here. DK a little off on his timing and missed his dash there. So DK did a nice little dash, set himself up for a little break, as basically while he's not standing on those switches, he's got iframes going, so he doesn't have to worry about doing anything with those tiles. And Emo is just going to deal with them the normal way, just throwing her boomerang at them. Lighting the torches, DK will grab his big key. DK handling these beetles. Emo's gonna grab the torches, grab her big key. Oh, DK did not get the path properly, and he falls the floor. And that's going to cost him a little time. That allows Emo to take the lead. So Emo now has a lead of a couple seconds. Still plenty of race to go, but that is a significant change right there. Next up, we're going to see Tower of Horror bomb jump. Basically, the runners are going to set it up. So they plant a bomb, they'll do a dash, and then it'll blow them over the pits. By dashing, they gain a few extra frames of movement there to get over the pits. If you don't dash, you only have 2 pixels of area to work with. If you do dash, it's up to 6 pixels. And they are pretty much synced as they went up that staircase. Man, that's some really nice sync. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes as we go into the Moldorm fights. Another RNG heavy boss. 6 slashes or spins, it doesn't really matter. Both do the same damage. And man, these two are pretty neck and neck, but DK gets through it just a little faster. Emo right behind him, though. And the sync between these two is pretty nice to watch. But DK will come out slightly ahead. And he'll be heading down Death Mountain and going to go grab his Master Sword. At this point in the run, since both runners elected to skip the rupees in Saharsala's hut, they now need to set up some tree pulls to get their rupees to go for Palace of Darkness. How they will do that is following. First of all, after they come out of Death Mountain, there's a tree right there. They're going to pull that tree. Now, considering the rupee counts, they may not take a single rupee that comes out, as they'll get 4 blue rupees, but they don't really need those. But they need to reset the tree. And then as they're going back through the Lost Woods, they are going to kill 4 enemies without taking damage. This will set up a Tier 3 tree pull. What's important about the Tier 3 tree pull is that will give 4 red rupees for the pull. But to get it, you have to kill 4 enemies without taking any damage. Any damage, and you'll only get a Tier 2 tree pull, which is the 4 blue rupees. Both runners getting through the Lost Woods nicely. DK first to the pedestal, and he will pull his Master Sword. Emo right behind him. A little bit of text box mashing here, and then both runners will leave the Lost Woods. If they did their kills correctly on their way out, they will pull a tree that will yield them 4 red rupees. So, getting a quick little text box there to get through. Now, both runners at this point will have the option to pick up the mushroom for powder. I don't think either will, though. But DK skips it. Oh, that green guard surprised him, almost got him, but he thankfully avoided the damage, and he'll get his red rupee pull. Now, he only picked up 3 of those red rupees, but he'll get the others he needs climbing Aga's tower. Emo's just going to grab all 4, and she'll be set for rupees. With both runners heading towards Agadam's tower, they're trying to keep full health, because the full health will help them in these early rooms. So both climbing through this Hyrule Castle, and we'll be heading into Aga Tower, and we'll be heading up to our Aga fight. Now with sword beams, DK and Emo can both use the combination of bow and sword beams to kill these guards. Now, unfortunately, Emo's only got 1 arrow, so she's only going to be able to use 1 shot along with sword and sword beams. DK gets through that room, he gives key. I believe he did a dash to kill those enemies. That's important because he's trying to manipulate the enemy prize pool for later, as Emo just did as well. By dashing through the enemies to kill them, you don't advance the enemy prize pool. And what that will do is later on in the race, when they'll be in Turtle Rock, that prize pool that those blue guards have is also shared by the Pokies that we'll see in Turtle Rock. And if you manipulate it right, you'll have a chance at getting a fairy in Turtle Rock. Which will be very important, as you can take a lot of damage in Turtle Rock. For now, though, both runners are climbing up Agadam's tower. DK grabs his key here and climbs to the 5th floor, as Emo is starting on the 4th. About a floor difference between the two right now. DK making pretty good work at these as Emo climbs up and will take on these red guards as well. Ooh, the 1 red guard gets in DK's way, and that's gonna cost him a little bit of time. He gets through it, though. DK is on his way to the 6th floor. Emo's got 2 more rooms of guards to kill. That was a nice little technique. I haven't seen that one before. Got the guards to come to her and then kill them. Looks like Emo also has a little trouble in this room, but gets through it. And DK is going to watch the quick cutscene here, and will be on the Aga fights. The Aga fight is very RNG dependent. Based on how... Now, the first shot Aga will shoot is always a ball you can reflect back at him to damage him. The next 3 shots have a 50-50 shot of being either an orange ball or a blue ball. You can reflect the orange balls, the blue balls will scatter. And then every 5th shot will always be a lightning bolt, with the following up shot being another guaranteed orange ball. Now, since these runs are completely random, you could have runs where you have 0 of those blue ball shots. You could have runs that have 15 of them. And that can significantly alter your time. As a runner, you don't want to see more than 2, because after that, you start seeing extra lightning bolts. Looks like in DK's first set there, he only saw 1 blue ball. Emo swung a little early, got electrocuted for it. There's Emo's first blue ball. DK, I believe, is seen 2. There's a 3rd, so he'll get another lightning bolt. Ooh, he's up to 4 now. That was Emo's 2nd. And DK is through the Agamemnon fight with 4 blue balls. That's Emo's third, so she'll see an extra lightning bolt. But she is also through the Aga fight. Seeing one less blue ball gives her a couple extra seconds, but DK will still come out in front. Now next up, we're heading to Pod to get into... or to the east to get into Pod. Well, what the runners need is they're going to need 110 rupees to open a Pod. DK has exactly 110 rupees. Emo has 129. Now that's important because as they go to Pod, they're going to have to pay Kiki the monkey twice. Once to get him to follow you for 10 rupees, and then 100 rupees to open it. If DK were to take any damage on the way to carrying Kiki, Kiki will run away. You have to repay him to get him to follow you again. So DK's got to be a little careful not to take damage while Kiki's following him. If Emo were to take some damage, she's got a little bit of a buffer that she can get him back easily. There's the first 10 rupees. Yeah, DK is fine. And he'll pay off the rest of his rupees to get into Palace of Darkness. So Palace of Darkness is a lot of opening chests, grabbing a small key, and warping back to the front. So we see DK, he's going to grab his first small key, warp to the front. Grab another small key, warp to the front. Grab a big key and warp to the front. Yeah, there's still so much of this race to go. I mean, it's very close still between these runners. Just a matter of seconds separating the two. And DK, I think, is mixing his route up a little bit. So it's an interesting route. He doesn't have to use as many mirrors. So I think it's, in terms of timing, I don't know if it's any different. Emo's doing what I see as a more traditional route, but I think both routes are entirely valid. In terms of timing, I think the difference would be minimal. Probably more preference than anything else. But DK has a small key and this big key, and we're about to see another bomb jump called the hammer jump. It is a double Y pixel perfect jump. You have to set a bomb on a perfect pixel, and then you have to line link on a perfect pixel. The jump is only specific on the Y-axis. The X-axis is a bit freer. We're going to watch DK set his up right now. Using some mini buffering to get in position, and he makes it on his first attempt, and he's got his hammer. So he'll grab another small key, and then he'll be on his way to EmoSaru. While Emo is heading for her bomb jump. She's doing a little extra pause buffering to make sure she's aligned perfectly. You got to be pixel perfect on this, and she does get it. DK makes sure to pick up an extra heart there. He wants to have full hearts to save himself a couple of menus coming up here. Gets through the mimics nicely, and he'll be on his way into the bottom, into the back half of Pod, heading towards EmoSaru. And we'll shortly behind him. She'll grab a couple hearts to refill her life as well. So the reason you want sword beams is just for this room, so you can sword beam the switch so you don't have to switch items twice to hit it. Down to the turtle room. This one's a little bit tricky, except for DK, who handled that perfectly. And DK will be heading into his EmoSaru fight. So the EmoSaru fight, 17 hits with the hammer, and then either 8 Master Sword slashes, or 4 Master Sword spins, or 4 hammer hits. DK using his sword to keep him face forward. He's got that mask off. Going for some hammer hits. Ooh, he's taking a little bit of a hard time in there, but does get through EmoSaru. I'll grab his first crystal. Meanwhile, Emo will be right behind going into her EmoSaru fight. Those of you watching in chat, DK joined us for a minute just to say his thoughts on that fight. That's the nice thing about the NMG tournament is you will see runners pop into chat because they are allowed to watch each other. Emo took a couple extra hits there. She's got to be a little careful. She's just going to go with Master Sword slashes, but she does get through EmoSaru as well. And so both will be going through a cutscene, and then they're going to be heading towards the west to grab their flute and then head into Thieves Town. Now, of course, for the vanilla game, well, in the true game, I should say, not necessarily vanilla, but true game, the game wants you to go to Swamp Palace next. But we're going to do it in a little different order. We're going to go to Thieves Town first to get the Titan's Mitts, so we can go grab the Tempered Sword and have that for the rest of the run. The nice thing about Legend of Zelda is that once you finish up Palace of Darkness, the game is actually pretty open to you. You can do the dungeons in about any order you want, assuming you have the items to complete them. And for the most part, between dungeons, second, third, and fourth dungeons, which are Swamp, Skullwoods, and Thieves Town, they don't have overlapping requirements, so you could do them in any order. DK is going to pick up his shovel, he'll mirror to the light world, dig, and grab his flute. Emo's is right behind him, heading towards that flute area. Yeah, as I was mentioning, just like dungeons 2, 3, and 4 can be done in any order. You kind of have to do Dungeon 4 before you can get into 5, 6, and 7, as the requirements for at least 3 and 4 also seep into 5, 6, and 7, which are Ice Palace, Misery Mire, and Turtle Rock. DK pulling off a nice spin speed there to avoid all those guards. Those guards can really give you trouble if you don't get through them fast, and he's activating his flute. You know, Emo's going to warp back to the light world. She will grab her flute as well and go activate that. So with the flute in hand, we head into Thieves Town, and we're going to go to finish that dungeon. So DK is taking the portal as Emo is activating her flute. So here we go. DK is going to Thieves Town. Emo will be heading to the portal to get into the Dark World, so she can head to Thieves Town as well. Thieves Town, first section here. You're just gonna run basically to the big key chest, grab that, and head to the back. So DK will pick up his big key as Emo is heading back to the Dark World. So DK is heading towards the back. Emo will be in Thieves Town in just a minute. So DK is to head up to grab a key, going to the left. Let's see if he can get the perfect pixel in this hallway to get through it quick. And I think he's got it. Yep, that was a perfect dash up that hallway. Emo's falling behind. She's got her big key. DK will blow up on the floor here to prep the blind fight. Emo's got her small key heading into the back area here. There's not a lot to talk about with this dungeon. It's a pretty straightforward dungeon. It's not a lot. There's not much for tricks to it. Emo doesn't get the perfect pixel, but she still gets through that one pretty well. And DK is going to head to the back here, or downstairs. He's going to go pick up the maiden, and then he is going to go pick up his Titan's mitts. Emo following behind, gonna blow up on the floor. That maiden can run a bit fast. Nice to keep. She's got to run fast to keep with the link, I guess. But she's got. DK's got his Titan's mitts, and he's gonna head up, and he's going to go to his blind fight. So the blind fight is a very scripted fight. If you know where to position yourself, blind will pretty much always act the same. The only RNG is the fireballs and the heads where they go. And so let's see how DK handles this. Perfect first phase for him. Very nice second phase. Yep, that's about as well as you can do it. Took a few hearts of damage, but nothing severe. And he'll have his second crystal. Meanwhile, on Emo's side, she's going to grab the Titan's mitts and then head upstairs and go into her blind fight. So, coming out of here, we'll have another set of rupees to pick up, which will prep us for the rest of the run. Talk about it in just a minute as Emo is going to start her blind fight. Not very nice first phase. And second phase. And she takes a hit in the third phase, but otherwise that was perfect. Meanwhile, DK is starting his rupee route. He went to this bottom hut to grab 300 rupees. Now he's going to go over and rescue the Frogsmith over here. Take him back to the light world, turn him into a blacksmith, and get a tempered sword. Now, his rupee positioning is still pretty spot on. He's going to have, he has 10 rupees to easily pay for the blacksmith here. But as Emo's grabbed her second crystal, she's doing some text box mashing. DK is going to come grab his tempered sword. So DK is handing off his sword as Emo begins her rupee route. Quick warp to and from Dark World, so the sword will finish up, and you'll have a tempered sword. Now, of course, big question coming up for DK, will he fence dash? And the answer to that is, yep, he'll fence dash. Perfectly pulled off. Not really a maneuver that saves you much more than a frame or two, but still one that everyone loves to see. DK grabs his other 300 rupees. He's set for later on in the run as Emo is returning the blacksmith. And DK is the first into Skull Woods. Skull Woods is going to head to the middle first, grab the big key, and then come back to grab the fire rod before heading into the back to face off against Mothula. Emo's got her tempered sword. We'll see if she elects to fence dash. DK's got his big key. Oh, yep, she went for the fence dash, unfortunately missed it. And DK is going to set up for another bomb jump here. This one's pretty simple. Just similar to the hair jump. You place the bomb, dash into the wall, send you across, you grab your fire rod. And he's just going to fall into the hole and head to the back. So as DK is on his way to Mothula, Emo is going to start it in Skull Woods and get her big key. So Emo's got her big key, DK is in the back of Skull Woods. See how DK handles this room. Knocking those Gibdos out of the way. Lights all the torches very nicely. Emo's going to set up for her bomb jump to grab her fire rod. Slightly different setup, but both work. And DK is falling into the Mothula fight. So the Mothula fight, if you knock Mothula back into the spikes, he takes no damage. But that was really a problem for DK, who takes Mothula out without a problem. If you knock Mothula back into the spikes, he takes no damage. Otherwise, he takes 4 Tempered Sword slashes to take down. And we're going to get some text box mashing from DK as Emo heads back into the back part of Skull Woods. So with Skull Woods finished, DK's next move is going to be to grab Flippers and Quake before heading into Ice Palace. Oh, Emo's shot misses the Gibdo. She grabs a heart for safety. I think she loses that heart right away. Let's see how she handles her Mothula fight. Two good slashes to start. Oh, that was a very nice fight from Emo. So as Emo grabs her third crystal, we see DK on his way up to Catfish to grab his Quake Medallion. DK takes a hit there. It hurts a little bit going to Ice Palace because you like to have sword beams for the second room, but it's not a huge problem. DK is going to throw the rock into the portal, and he's going to set up for a quick warp. It's a bit of a dangerous quick warp to pull off, because if you hit the wrong spot and the fish jumps in the wrong frame, you can soft lock yourself. But DK pulls it off nicely. He's warping, and he's going to go spend 500 rupees for some flippers. Meanwhile, Emo is warping back to the light world. She's going to flute to 4, and she's going to head over into the Quakefish as well. So we got DK about to pick up his flippers as Emo returns to the Dark World. So from Zora here, we're going to see DK travel south and into a portal, which will take him directly to the entrance of Ice Palace. Ice Palace is an interesting dungeon in that it is a very long dungeon that we will just skip. Not going to do it. We're going to jump over a gap and basically skip the dungeon. I mean, nobody likes Ice Palace. Everybody hates it. And for good reason. It's a long and boring dungeon. And we're just going to skip past it. Emo also sets up for the quick warp. And as DK is heading into Ice Palace. So it's nice to have the sword beams from that room, so it's easier to kill those jellyfish. But DK gets through it alright. So yeah, as you're going to watch, DK is basically saying pretty much no to each room, just doing the minimum he's got to do to get through it. Emo's going to grab her flippers here, spend her 500 rupees. When it's 500 rupees, did you kind of steal them? Or, I don't know how you get those rupees are considered in the game. Oh, DK messes up the quick kill strat on these Stalfos. So we got you a little bit of lag as he gets them there. And now we're going to watch DK set up the Ice Palace bomb jump, which basically allows us to skip this dungeon. And I think that's about as fast as I've seen the bomb jump set up. And so DK is going to head downstairs. He's going to go to his cold stair fight. Now Emo with sword beams cleans up those jellyfish nicely. So DK is at full health, took a few hearts of damage, so he's only at 6 hearts. Should be fine for this cold stair fight, but it is a very tricky fight. You need your full magic bar to break cold stair's shell, and then it's basically a spin and 6 slashes, if Cold Stare gets out of hand, the fight can lengthen considerably. Let's see how DK handles it. Perfect magic usage to get through the shell, spins him into the corner, and that's basically about as perfect as you can do a Cold Stare fight. You know, Emo is going to set up for her Ice Palace bomb jump. She gets to the first try as well. Playing a little safe with this fireballer. And she's going to be heading downstairs to face Cold Stare as DK works through this series of text boxes. So now as DK comes out of Ice Palace, he's got an option. At some point he has to go pick up the Ether Medallion and the Ice Rod. He can do it now, or he can do it later. Doesn't really matter which, as long as he does it before the dungeons that need them. And he's going to wait until after Swamp Palace to pick them up. He's going to go straight in the swamp. Some runners will elect to hold on that until after they're done, or before they do Swamp Palace, so they can get the full refill going into Mire. But again, it's basically a matter of runner preference. Meanwhile, Emo's on her Cold Stare fight. And that's pretty much perfect as well. So both runners nail a near perfect Cold Stare. As we go, DK has just been widening his lead. He's slowly creeping further and further ahead of Emo, but we still have plenty of race to go, and it doesn't take much for a runner to fall behind. But DK is working through Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace is pretty straightforward. Not much to worry about in terms of tricks. It's just straightforward. A lot of little enemies that do little damage. Little annoyances. But yeah, not much to worry about here. So it looks like Emo is going to diverge a little bit, and she is going to go ahead and pick up her, at least her Ice Rod right now. My guess is she'll go pick up her Ether Medallion as well. Again, this is steps that you can do at any point. You just have to make sure they're done before you go into the dungeons that need these items. In terms of PBs today, not much to talk about just yet. I don't know if DK is on PB pace. I'm looking at Emo's page, and she is actually at a really good pace right now. She does have a chance to PB, but there's still quite a bit to go before we get there. Well, DK is working through Swamp. Emo's gonna go grab her Ether Medallion. And with that Ether Medallion, she's gonna head to Swamp. While DK is working through the left side over here, he's going to grab his big key to get to the hook shot. So DK has his big key. Emo is about to head into Swamp. Looks like the gap is widening between DK and Emo, but we have to remember that DK still needs to go grab his Ether Medallion and his Ice Rod. And there's the hook shot for DK. He's gotta go grab a key and he'll be heading into the back. So Emo is now in Swamp as DK is pushing the statue in place, heading towards Argus. Grabbing a couple extra arrows. I want to have some extras going into Meyer, because you'll need them for another boss fight. As you go through the run, you'll notice the runners and their resource management. You notice like Emo has 2 bombs, DK has 1. These runners basically know to the second how many items they'll need at each point. And if they're off, they also know where their resources are, which pots they can lift to get either hearts or bombs or arrows or magic or whatever they need. That's a big part of the NMG run right there, is just knowing where your resources are and knowing when you need to grab them. DK is now to the Argus fight and looks like he's going for a quick kill. Can he zero cycle this? Looks like he's not going to quite zero cycle it, but should still get a nice 1 cycle. Yes, a very nice 1 cycle on Argus. He'll grab his crystal, and then he's got to go grab his Ether Medallion and Ice Rod. I mean, so far for these runners, this has been basically a textbook run. Like, there's been maybe some small mistakes here and there, but for the most part, this has been a very well executed race by both runners so far, and we still have more to go as we still have 2 dungeons and Ganon's Tower to get through. So DK is going through a set of text boxes known as one of the longest in the game. Emo's going to go pick up her big key, and she's going to go use it to do her hook shot. So, yeah, at this point, DK should be fluting to go grab his ether. Emo's going to grab her hook shot. She'll be heading back towards the Argus fight. Be interesting to see where these runners are heading into Meyer, as it's going to give us a good idea of the time difference between the two. DK elects to chop the bushes there to grab a heart. He wants to make sure he has full health going into Meyer, because it helps with the Meyer 2 room. But DK has his ether, he'll head to ice next. Yep, DK's gonna grab his ice rod as Emo is going towards her Argus fight. Grabbing a couple extra hearts just to be safe. DK has his ice rod, he will be heading to Meyer now. So Emo looks like she's gonna get the one cycle here. And I think, based on what DK just said in chat, he's got a little surprise for us. I'm guessing it involves that bird. And he is taking the bird with him into Misery Mire, which just leaves it on the roof, I guess. Emo finishes up Argus. She's grabbing her crystal. She'll be on her way to Mire next. Now, this is the room you want full hearts for in Mire, so you can use those sword beams to easily take down these enemies. And you're just watching as basically DK just put on a clinic on how to finish that room. So, Misery Mire is one of those dungeons that's just needlessly big. Literally, like, there's a lot of rooms in this dungeon that you never have to actually set foot in. We're gonna just skip them and go get the big key, go grab the Key of Samaria, and then head to the Vitreous fight. So Emo is done with Swamp, and she's gonna go whistle over to Mire now. DK is lighting the torches here. Gonna have a little bit of a cutscene as Emo's gonna get ready to open Mire. So both are kind of in an opening door cutscene right now. DK gonna drop down and grab his big key. Emo is into Misery Mire. Got her fire right out for a quick Mire 2 room. Oh, that last Popo gave her a little trouble. She's got through it. DK heading to the right side, he's going to grab his cane. There's the cane for DK. Let's grab a key, and then he will be heading towards Vitreous. Vitreous path is pretty straightforward from here. Have a couple switches to hit, and then you're on your way to the eyeballs. I suppose eyeballs isn't a very descriptive word for bosses, because there's several bosses that can be called eyeballs. But DK is going to be heading towards one of those. DK's got one bomb left. It's exactly what he needs to bomb the wall in here. He'll grab bombs later for some other walls he needs. Again, this is going back to just resource management, knowing where your resources are, knowing what you need at what point in the game. Emo grabbed her big key. She's going to grab her Cane of Samaria. Looks like Emo is about 90 to 105 seconds behind DK. So what DK is doing here is he's using iframes again. Oh, he takes a death. Oh man, that's big. I think Emo just took the lead. Yeah, what he tried to do was use his iframes so he could get some damage on those eyeballs. Unfortunately, he took the eyeball damage, which is much, much worse. And he took a death, and that is going to let Emo take the lead here. It's not going to be a very big lead, but still, that is a huge swing in this match. Wow, that's how fast a match can switch right there. And this race is just gonna be tight the rest of the way. So Emo's heading towards Vitreous. A good Vitreous fight here, and she will take a nice lead. And the other thing is, DK does not... Oh, he already blew the wall over. Never mind on that. He's fine. I mean, the difference between these two right now is seconds. Just... I mean, it's like 15, 20 seconds, I think. So let's see how Emo does in her fight. She's using those iframes to get spins on the eyeballs. And she uses a couple arrows to get the last ones down. 8 eyeballs to Vitreous itself, and it's down. And Emo's got her 6th crystal. Meanwhile, DK going back into his Vitreous fight for his 2nd attempt. He's got to be careful. He's down to 2 hearts. He's down to 1 heart. He should be fine. Oh no! DK takes a 2nd death! This is big! This is going to give Emo a huge lead. I mean, Emo is going to have a big lead going into Turtle Rock at this point. And DK is going to go for his 3rd attempt at Vitreous. This race is definitely far from over, but we have just seen a huge swing in this match. So Emo is climbing up towards Death Mountain as DK heads to the back again. I mean, you gotta feel for DK. I mean, those are some rough deaths to take. But, I mean, this is just such a huge swing. So Emo's climbing towards Turtle Rock. She's going to open it up. And there's not much to say right now, just what's happened. But we still have so much race to go. It's far from over. So Emo is opening Turtle Rock as DK is getting ready for his 3rd attempt on Vitreous. Let's see how it goes. Looks like DK... Yeah, DK is in much better shape this time. 8 arrows to Vitreous, and it's down. Emo starting her run through Turtle Rock. This one's a bit straightforward. Gotta grab a key over here, head to the Chain Chomp room, grab another key, get the big key, get another key off Laser Bridge, and then head to Trinex. Another dungeon we're gonna skip the big chest in. As things, there's still a lot that can happen. The next room we've got that can really mess up runners is that chain chomp room. Those chain chomps will do 4 hearts of damage. Now, if Emo's gets lucky, she should get a fairy here. Unfortunately, no, but she'll have another attempt to get that fairy a little later. Very nice use of iframes, and she's through the chain chomp room. And I think DK just missed the duck. So at this point, DK is about 2 minutes 45 seconds behind Emo. But there's still a lot that can happen. Emo is heading to grab her big key. As DK climbs, he's going to go into Turtle Rock. Emo grabs her big key. Alright, DK is heading into Turtle Rock. Emo has a big key. She is going to be heading towards the back for Trinex. She's got another chance, I think, here to get that fairy drop. And there it is. A very nice pit drop there. Very nice setup. She's going to be at near full life going into the back, which is big to have. DK is entering Turtle Rock now. He grabs a bomb there because he's going to need one for a little later in his run. Emo grabs the key, and she's going to be heading down to the dark maze here. DK working through his torch room. Misses the hook shot. He'll get it on the second attempt. Alright, Emo just has to go to the laser bridge, grab a key, and then head over to Trinex. DK's got his key, he's heading towards the back. See if Emo can nail this laser skip. That was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And quick dash through this room with the cane dash. And she is on her way to Trinex. Oh, and DK takes another death. DK takes a death in the chain chomp room. Emo's lead is going to continue to grow. Emo's going for the quick kill on Trinex. And she's got through that first phase very nicely. And she's got Trinex down. This will be her 7th crystal. She's on her way to GT. Emo's lead is continuing to grow, but let's remember, this race is not over yet. So DK is going to grab his big key. I mean, this race, like I mentioned at the start, the difference in PBs according to speedrun.com, I mean, DK was at a 127, Emo was at a 133. I do know Emo, I think her PB is actually a little bit better than that, but still, there was a good difference between these two runners. And Emo's just had the better run so far. She hasn't taken a death, which has basically been the deciding factor. DK grabs a fairy, though he takes a hit from that. He takes a hit from the pokey and basically loses that health. Here she goes, or here Emo goes into GT. DK still working through Turtle Rock. So you gotta grab some keys on the way up. Which keys you grab is basically just a matter of preference. DK working through the dark maze. He's got to go grab his small key and then go to Trinex. Very nice hookshot movement from Emo. DK going for the laser skip. He gets it. Yeah, Emo is just playing at an incredible level in this run. I mean, she's just been doing really well, and let's just, now just gotta keep it up and finish this run off. Meanwhile, DK is on his Trinex fight. DK is through phase 1. Emo grabbing some extra arrows. Oh, loses a bit of magic because of that positioning. Shouldn't be too big of a deal though. DK has Trinex down. Emo setting up for the quick kill on Ice Armos. And gets a perfect quick kill there. She's got the big key. She's got arrows. And she's warping to the front. Time for her gauntlet climb. At this point, it's just about the execution. Just getting through this as cleanly as possible. We're having a little bit of trouble with these mimics. But through that room, alright. At this point, Emo is well on her way. Ooh, she shows off a little bit of a nice maneuver there with the bow dash. Well, DK has arrived at GT and he's opening it up. Emo takes a fall. That's not a big thing because she'll use the iframes to get through that easily the second attempt. And she's gonna take the safety. Or maybe not. Oh, I think she just threw that so she could item switch maybe. But meanwhile, DK is in GT. The difference right now between these runners is about 3 minutes. Still far from over, though. Emo is out of bombs, but I believe she can grab some in the room before she needs one more. But she's having a very nice gauntlet so far, though she is a little low on health. Now here we go into the Land Mode 2 fight. Using tempered spins and fire rod shots. And she's got Landmo 2 down. She should have enough yeah, she'll be fine on magic for the torch room coming up. Grabs the heart for a little extra safety. And there's another heart for a little bit more safety. Perfect was Robe Room. She's grabbing hearts just for the safety. She knows where she is. Keeping her health up is definitely a big thing right now. Well, DK is falling into the Ice Armos fight. Looks like he tried to set up for the quick kill, but missed it. Oh, and he's out of arrows. He's gonna have to use Tempered Sword Slashes, which should have cost him a little bit of time. Emo's up to the 6th floor, through this torch room. I believe she has to open the chest here to grab some bomb. Nope, there's a bomb right there. And she also needs a key. And she's going to grab a magic refill here before heading off to Moldorm 2. Well, DK is starting his ascent up GT. Spin in a slash on Moldorm 2 and he'll be down. Ooh, that spin's not going easily. But she's got it. DK through the first Mimic Room. He's out of arrows, but he can grab a few easily. Emo is heading upstairs. She is up to Aga 2. A little bit of RNG-based fight, but not as bad as the first one. One hit on the first. DK takes a fall, but he'll use those iframes. Another one hit. Very nice triple there. Jeez, one more hit. DK through the first room of the gauntlets. And down goes Aga 2. And now it's all up to the Ganon execution. Alright, here we go. Now, if Emo wants, she can go bonk for a fairy, or she can go right into the fight. She's just gonna go right in. And here we go. 12 slashes for each of the first 2 phases. Meanwhile, DK's got Landmo 2 down. And Emo has perfect positioning for phase 2. It doesn't get better than this. And she should be in phase 3 easily. DK is continuing his ascent. But right now it's all eyes on Emo. Two hits in phase 3. Here's the third. And there's her 4th hit. And now it's 12 spins in Silverless. She's got the torch glitch. There is 2 spins so far. Little early on that fire rod shot. DK is approaching his Moldorm 2 fight. It's 5 hits so far. This is tense. He's halfway done. I believe that's hit 8. Only a couple more spins. And that will do it. Emo is going to take this race. What a race. Emo pulls ahead, and she is going to take this race with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 34 seconds. That was incredible to watch. And it sounds like she also pulled off a PB on that race. DK, meanwhile, has finished off Aga 2. He is going to go to his Ganon fight. According to chat, Emo had pulled off a PB by 17 seconds. Meanwhile, DK is going to fall into the Ganon fight. It's got to be a bit rough for DK. He was leading for most of the race, and unfortunately, the difference in the race was basically 3 deaths. 2 on Vitreous and 1 to the Chain Chomps and Turtle Rock. The DK is already through Phase 2, he's on to Phase 3. Let's cheer DK on to the finish here. We are going to pull both runners in here for an interview, hopefully, but we're going to wait until after DK's fight is done. And DK's got his torch glitch and now 12 spins. Well, takes a bad hit there. Four spins so far. DK is doing really well on this fight. Just pushing it through to the finish line. Just a couple more spins and it'll be down for DK. Actually, just one more. Down goes Ganon for DK, and he will finish in second place in this race. We'll get his official time after he crosses the bridge. And he's just going to get pulled in. And DK has officially finished with an official Speed Racing TV time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 31 seconds. GG to both of those runners for an incredible race. Yeah, we're going to try to pull both of these runners in right now for an interview. Yeah, we're getting both runners have confirmed they'll be in here. They're just probably resting for a second after such a long race. Yeah, I mean, Emo PB'd by 17 seconds, and DK just, those deaths were just what undid it for him. And we are now joined by EmoSaru. GG.
Yo, thank you. I have no idea how that happened, but cool. Thank you.
I mean, you were definitely on top of your game there. I think, according to chat, you PB'd by 17 seconds?
Yeah, it was a 17-second PB. Honestly, like, it was kind of unfortunate. Like, I have so much time saved in the light world and, like, a few other things, and just, it was, I don't know. I was... Yeah, but it was a 17-second PB. I'm looking for... I've got, like, a 130 coming soon, but yeah, it was... PB is a PB. It was good. I'm happy for it.
I mean, overall, how did that run feel? Was there any parts you were super proud of? Anything that felt a little off?
The part that fell off was... Actually, I mean, it was like a lot of little things, nothing too major. The main thing that fell off was when I won, because I stopped watching DK's stream when he was like a minute and a half ahead of me in Mire. So then I was very surprised to discover that apparently something happened to him. So I actually assumed that I was still like a minute and a half or two behind, which is why I actually went for that stupid bow dash in Cannon's Tower. But screw it. I mean, it was cool, so whatever.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, for the most part, like I said, it was those deaths at Vitreous and then another jump and the death on the chain chomps. Those are the big differences in that race. Yeah,
I lost a pretty hot PB pace run. It was like minus a minute and a half to some Vitreous shenanigans recently, so I have great sympathy for anybody who died. I was reading in chat, it sounded like maybe he just walked into the goo, and that's like, I've been there 8 billion times, and that sucks so bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I think the first death was I don't think his iframes aligned properly, and he got hit by the eyeballs. His second death, he had the eyeballs down, but he stayed in the ghoul like a second too long and took the death. And then on his third attempt, it's...
gosh, okay, hey, what's up?
Hey, DK, GG's on finishing. Wow.
Yo, good job.
Yo, thank you. I appreciate it.
I did what you asked me to.
Yeah, okay, I was joking. I hope you didn't take that seriously.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, GG to you. I mean, it must have been a bit frustrating for that run.
No doubt.
Just after Vitreous.
So I don't even know what happened. The first death, I took iframe damage, but then I mean, apparently I was either a pixel too high on the goo, but like literally as soon as I walked in the same frame, I got hit by the eye. So either I didn't have the iframe and I got hit by the eye.
Oh, damn.
I'm not sure.
Which slash was on?
What's that?
Which slash did you take the death on?
It was on the first spin.
Oh, wow.
Like on the right-hand side.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
And then the second time I went in there and completed the entire, like I killed him, walked out of it. So I'm not near the goo, walked over to the wall and took a death. I'm not sure how that happens.
That's bizarre and very sucky.
And then I took a chomp death, which I had there was nothing I could do because I was literally right next to it. And on the frame that I opened the chest, the chomp jumped on top of me. So there really wasn't anything to do that. So
Man, well, that sucks. I'm sorry you had to go through all that. I was telling these guys, I actually stopped watching your stream when you were like a minute and a half or two ahead of me in Mire. And then apparently once I minimized your stream, everything went yeah, so basically I was like, oh, there's no way in heck that this is gonna happen. So I got into GT and was doing like the bow dash and the spike room and like all sorts of stupid stuff that like is not safe. And like picking up extra hearts because I'm like, oh, I might as well like make it easy to finish out. And yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah. Well, as painful as it was, you have to complete those runs. You have to go through kind of the BS that the game throws at you, and only to get better and to, you know, just continue to, you know, press on. So would I have loved to just turn the game off? Yes, but you have to go through that kind of stuff in order to grow as a runner. So congrats to Emo for sure. Had the run of your life, so that's awesome. I'm glad it was against me for sure. I can say that. I had the privilege of running against you during your PB, so that's pretty cool. So
yo, well, seriously, thanks to you for the race. And like I don't know, I have very mixed feelings about winning this race because truth be told, I would have rather seen somebody that I think has like more of a competitive chance in the subsequent bracket rounds. But yeah.
Well, if you just keep playing like that and you keep improving, I think that you have a good shot at advancing. I'm not sure who you were going to be facing next, but
I'll give you a quick insight to that. Your next opponent, you will face Kaznode.
There you go. I deeply appreciate your positivity, DK.
Absolutely. You have to, I mean, you can't do anything about it. The game is set up in a way that you just have runs where everything goes wrong and the game will do that to you. And so if you don't stay positive, if you don't, you know, just roll with the punches that the game throws at you, you will never play the game and you'll never enjoy it because you'll just get pissed off. So you just gotta roll with what it gives you. And if you die 4 times, you die 4 times or 3 times or however many times it was.
For sure.
But yeah, thank you for the race. I had fun until Mire, that's for sure. I'm just joking. No, I had fun for sure.
Yeah, and thanks to you again too.
Yeah, shout outs to Speed Gaming for the tournament. This is obviously it for me as far as A Link to the Past and Major Glitches tournament 2018. Had a lot of fun. Very fortunate to have been a part of it. Came out of retirement for the run, so it's fun to get back into the game, continue to play it, and just looking to improve my time and continue to grow as a runner. So really thankful for the opportunity to come back and, you know, showcase what I had.
All right, very nice to hear. Yeah, it was great to watch you tonight, and you know, it was an unfortunate night for you, but still, just great to watch and great to see how you performed there. Yeah, Emo's same as well. Just great to watch you just pull up that PB and to see you advance on to the next round of the tournament.
Thank you, and thanks to you for commentating and all the Speed Gaming crew and everything. You guys are always rad. So,
all right, I think with that we're going to wrap up for the night. I just want to thank our runners for the great race they put on. Just coming up today on Speed Game, we still have a Zelda 2 randomizer weekly race and a race of a hat and time going on. And then tomorrow for the NMG tournament, we have matches starting at 3 p.m. Eastern. First up is MChan338 versus Christos Owen and BT ILCX, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, versus Zarby89. That'll be our first match on Speed Gaming 3 tomorrow. And we've got 3 others after that. So definitely come in, I can take a look at those and check out all the other Speed Gaming shows going on. With that, I think we're going to sign off for the night. So everybody, thanks for watching and have a good night.